$1.50. Hold that number in your mind for a moment. In 1985, it bought you a quarter-pound hot dog and a soda at a warehouse store in the United States. Today, at that same store, the same combination costs exactly the same. Not adjusted, not roughly, the same. $1.50. Since then, gasoline has roughly tripled. Movie tickets have tripled. The average American home has more than quadrupled. And through 4 decades of relentless inflation, one hot dog has simply refused to move. This is not an accident, and it is not nostalgia. It is one of the most deliberate prices in the history of retail. And the story of how it stayed frozen involves a death threat, 2 meat factories, and a soda war. The store is Costco, a members-only warehouse chain where you pay an annual fee just for the right to walk in. In the United States, a basic card costs $65 a year. That fee is the secret to everything, because Costco earns most of its profit not from selling things, but from selling permission to buy things. Membership fees make up roughly 2/3 of the company's profit. The groceries, the televisions, the tires, all of it runs on razor-thin margins, which means the entire business rests on a single question. Will members renew next year? In the United States and Canada, about 92% of them do, year after year. That renewal rate is the number executives actually lose sleep over. And this is where the hot dog comes in. The combo is what retailers call a loss leader, a product sold at or below cost to pull people through the door. But at Costco, it does something more specific. It is proof. Every time a member buys lunch for $1.50, the company demonstrates in the most physical way possible that it has not quietly raised prices while nobody was looking. The hot dog is not really food. It is evidence. You can see the effect at any warehouse on a Saturday. The food court sits near the exit, and the line for it often rivals the lines at the registers. Families finish a $200 shopping run and celebrate with a meal that costs less than almost anything in their cart. It is a ritual. And rituals, unlike prices, are very hard to compete with. The origin is almost accidental. Costco opened its first warehouse in Seattle in 1983. One of its founders, Jeff Brotman, had run a hot dog cart in that same city with his brother years before he built a warehouse empire. When Costco began selling hot dogs from carts outside its stores in the mid-'80s, the price landed at $1.50. And by 1985, the combo was an official menu item. Then, the world got more expensive, and the price did not. For years, the hot dogs came from an outside supplier, Hebrew National. As beef costs climbed, the combo began losing money on every single sale. The executive who would later run the entire company, Craig Jelinek, went to founder Jim Sinegal and told him the price had to go up. Sinegal's answer has become retail legend. "If you raise the effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out." So Jelinek figured it out. In 2009, instead of changing the price, Costco changed everything else. It stopped buying hot dogs and built its own factory near Los Angeles, then a second one near Chicago, so it could make them itself at cost. Sit with that for a second. The company constructed 2 industrial meat plants to avoid moving one number on a menu board. And the hot dog was only the beginning. When the soda contract came up for renewal, Costco dropped Coca-Cola for Pepsi because Pepsi was cheaper. A decade later, it switched back. When San Francisco taxed sugary drinks, Costco served diet soda there instead because diet was not taxed. In the spring of 2026, the company added a bottled water option to the combo, and members debated it online for weeks. The price, of course, did not change. Everything around the number is negotiable. The supplier, the brand, the recipe, the factory, even the drink. The number is not. Does it work? Costco now sells more than 200 million of these combos every year. For comparison, every Major League Baseball stadium in the country combined sells around 22 million hot dogs a season. A food counter next to the checkout lanes outsells the national pastime 10 times over. If the price had simply followed inflation, the combo would cost around $4.65 today. The gap between what the hot dog should cost and what it does cost is not lost money. It is an advertising budget. Costco famously spends almost nothing on traditional advertising. The hot dog is the ad. A commercial you can eat running continuously since 1985. 200 million combos, each one possibly losing a few cents, adds up to a marketing spend most companies would recognize instantly. The difference is that this ad also makes people lunch. And here's the strange part. The longer the price stays frozen, the more expensive it becomes to unfreeze. Executives now repeat the promise like a ritual. One chief financial officer called the price sacrosanct. The current chief executive has promised it will never change while he is around. At this point, raising the combo to $2 would cost Costco far more than the extra 50 cents could ever earn because the price has stopped being a price. It is a signal. In a world where every number quietly creeps upward, the one number that refuses to move is the one that tells you the most. So the next time you see a price that looks impossibly, stubbornly low, ask yourself what it is really selling. Because it is probably not the hot dog.